Hey beading friends, channel subscribers, and lovely commenters. As many of you know, I'm Sherry here at the Little Beading Closet. And as of February 2022, this channel has grown to over 5,000 subscribers. I want to thank all of you for making that happen and giving me the inspiration to bring you more tutorials. Today's tutorial is for the Designer Domes Beaded Bracelet. As a beaded jewelry maker, you are also a designer. You're going to be picking out your 10mm domes for this bracelet. Today I chose to work with a white pearl. And then choose a complementary or contrasting color to finish your beadwork. For a size reference, on this top bracelet, which is 7 inches, I used 7 of the white pearls. And down here, I used 8 of the 10mm white pearls for more of a 7.5 inch bracelet. Don't forget you can always look under the video for a description of everything I used. Now let's look at our supplies and begin. Today I'm going to be using a CYMBAL Elements CLASP. This one's meant to be a gem duo replacement but works perfectly for this bracelet. If you don't have one, you can always just have a Tila here at the end and then attach another clasp with seed beads. For my 10mm round bead, I chose a white pearl. You're going to need size 11 seed beads, half Tila beads, and these 1.8mm square beads. Begin by picking up one of the square beads and bringing it down near the end of your thread, and you won't need a tail. Just enough length that you can go ahead and tie a knot on around the bead. Next, I'm going to pick up my 10mm bead, bringing my 10mm pearl down here next to the cube bead. I'm going to take this little piece of tail and put it through the pearl, just like so. Picking up one more cube bead, I'm going to needle back through the pearl and come out next to this one, pulling tightly. I'm going to go ahead and trim off this little piece of thread. With my needle coming out of the pearl, I'm going to go ahead and step through the cube bead. We'll need 3 of the cube beads, 2 of the half Tila beads, and 3 more of the cube beads. With these on my needle, I'm going to go ahead and needle into the cube on the other side, pulling my needle through and let all those come up here along the edge of the pearl, making sure it's all tight before moving on. Again, you need 3 of the cubes, 2 of the half Tilas, and 3 more cube beads. And then you're going to needle through this one cube here at the end that's fixed to the pearl. And pull everything around and tight. We're going to needle from this one around to the other fixed cube bead. Just make sure that you end coming through the fixed cube bead. At this point, give your work a nice firm pull, making sure everything's tight, and needle straight back through your pearl. And pull the needle tight, and you should have your work cinched up fairly well at this point. I'm going to needle back through my fixed cube bead and come along the edge here until I come to the first half Tila bead. So now I'll be exiting the first half Tila. Should be looking like this with your thread coming out the half Tila. Go ahead and step up into the outer hole of the half Tila bead, just like so. I'm going to be holding this with the thread at my 12 o'clock position, picking up 4 of the seed beads. We're going to needle into the 3rd cube bead down. So count down 1, 2, 3, and come through the 3rd one back towards the top and pull those tight. They'll be along the edge of these. Now I'm going to needle through the last one back towards myself, pulling my thread through and pulling this tight against the work. Along this edge, we're only going to be working with 3 beads. This 3rd one that we went through, the 4th one, which is the one fixed to the pearl, and the one after it. Go ahead and pick up 1 11 and 1 cube bead and come through the 4th cube bead down back towards the top. Pull this next to your work and then needle back through the cube bead, pulling your thread, and it will lay just between the 11 and the cube. I'm going to hold this in my hand and pull everything tight. Pick up 2 more size 11 seed beads and needle through this 5th cube bead back towards the top. And again, needle through this seed bead towards yourself, making sure the thread comes between the 2 size 11s there. Picking up 3 more size 11 seed beads, I'll come into the first half tila and pull everything tight. At this point, I'll be adding my clasp. If you're not using this type of clasp, you can go ahead and add a half tila here in this spot. Again, I'll be adding the seed beads here along the edge, working with the number 3, number 4, and number 5 cube bead. With 4 size 11 seed beads on my needle, I'm going to come through the 3rd cube bead and pull it tight. Now I'm going to needle back through this end seed bead towards myself. And you just want to make sure the thread lays right here between the 2 size 11s. Picking up 1 11 and 1 cube bead, I'm going to come through the 4th cube here next to the pearl, the one that's fixed to the pearl, pulling that tight, and then needle back through the cube on the outside, and everything's tight. Picking up 2 more size 11 seed beads, I'm going to needle through this 5th cube bead and then back through the seed bead on the end towards myself, letting the thread go between the 2 beads. Picking up my last 3 size 11 seed beads, I'm going to come into this first half tila, pull everything tight, and picking up 1 more half tila bead, go ahead and come back through. I'm going to retrace this entire outer edge. And when I get to the point where there's a cube bead on the outside edge and on the inside edge, I'm going to tighten that up one more time by needling back through this cube bead, pulling my thread tight, coming back into the outer cube bead, and continuing along my edge. I've needled along my edge again until I've come to the next cube bead on the outside edge. I'll come through that one, through the one closest to the pearl, the one that's fixed to the pearl also, and then step back out into this outer edge, pulling everything tight, and then I'll be coming along my edge Once you completely come around that outside edge until you're back where you started, I'll go ahead and add a half hitch knot. Pull my thread a little further, come into the next group of seed beads, and add another half hitch knot here. And then I'll trim off my thread. With this end unit complete, I'm going to go ahead and start another one. And then I've added the inner circle cube beads along with the half Tila beads. Continue adding the seed beads along the edge, and then add one half Tila down here on the end, and the seed beads along this side also. At this point, we're going to connect this unit that we just worked on with the first one. So go ahead and needle through the half Tila bead from the first unit, bringing the first unit into the second unit. I'm going to go ahead and continue by finishing this edge just like I did for the first unit. With the first two units connected together, just follow the process and add more length to your bracelet. I continued adding segments to my bracelet until I'm up to my very last one that I need to attach. I'll be attaching this one right here and the other end to my clasp. Now that I'm here, all I have to do is attach the other end of my clasp. If you were using the half Tila beads, you would just add one here in this space. I'm going to go ahead and needle through my clasp. Like I said, these fit very nicely right up here in between the two half Tilas. And then just like before, continue along the edge, retracing your thread path until you come down to the first cube bead and reinforce. The final cut, let's snip this off and take a look at our work. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial for the Designer Domes bracelet, and as always, I hope you have a beautiful day.